Describe romantic love in one word. I'm being videoed right now, by the way.
Intimacy.
Bullshit.
Unexplainable.
Expensive.
Unpredictable.
Creepy.
Unconditional.
Alright, romantic love is being with someone without consequence, without having to think where the person is, or no questions, no matter what, y'all are going to be together.
Abs.
Handcuffs.
Romantic.
Happiness.
Jesse House.
Beautiful.
Agape.
L'amore è bellissimo. Translated from Italian means love is beautiful.
Spontaneity.
Very, very complicated.
Sensuality.
Jackie Moo.
Fire between two people that can't be put out.
Trust. Without trust, you don't have nothing at all.
Eternity.
Sex.
Faithful.
Chocolate-covered sex.
Honest.
I don't know, man.
Romance.
Trust.
Endearing.
Fellatio. Translated roughly means blowjob or head.
Great.
Probably sweet. Probably that's why I say, because I mean, when you see you just you feel so good inside when you have romantic love. You feel great. So probably just really sweet.
Crap.
Love is pleasure.
I don't know.
To me, love is when the birds and the bees pure penetration.
I think romantic love is a lot like pudding in ways I can't even express.
I will not take my love away. When phrases cease and seasons change, the whole world turns the other way. I will not take my love away. I will not leave you all alone. When sorry leads you far from home, and there's no yield for what you're sown, I will not leave you all alone. Oh, yeah. I will give you what you need, in plenty or in poverty. Forever always look to me. I will give you what you need. I will not take my love away.
This is what I thought love was. Like adventure and kisses and holding hands. You know, always there for each other. Always sharing everything with each other. What's mine is yours and what's yours is mine.
If you get her in a romantic love situation, you'll be sitting there always wondering when she's gone. Is she cheating on me? Is she cheating on me? She doesn't text you back and be like, oh, fuck. She's with another man right now. So what, dude? Love isn't, there's no such thing as love.
You can't trust yourself. That's why you're always thinking about her. Thinking she's with some other guy. If you can't trust yourself, then you definitely can't trust her. That's what romantic love is all about. It's all about trust.
Okay,
And
okay. See how far trust gets you. Yeah, just go after it. Just expect them to do what you think that they would do, and you're gonna be heartbroken, dude.
It took me 2.5 years to get over him. I still can't see him with another girl because it bothers me. But crap happens.
Okay, why would you get with a girl if you're just gonna set yourself up to be hurt? Why?
That's why you don't go into anything, man. Trust is one deep. You know you can trust yourself, so you try and do your part, and you expect them to do it, but you don't say, hey, they're gonna do it because I know.
But can you really trust yourself?
Yeah.
I have a hard time trusting people now with my feelings because I gave away my whole heart and I haven't really got it all the way back yet.
I would rather lose my buddies than the girl that I'm with. That's just my point of view. I don't care what my friends think. I don't care what my friends think. All right. If a girl is there for me, 100%, I'm not gonna fuck that up.
I mean, why can't a dude care about you enough just to send you flowers just because it's Wednesday? Do you feel me?
I feel you.
It's bullcrap. Like, I can't even be in a relationship. I haven't been in one since I was a junior in high school. That's almost 4 years. Because I don't trust any dudes at all.
I've been in one since I was a junior in high school.
One?
Yeah.
See? I can't even date guys because they're all jerks.
No, this isn't about me
But
stalking
communication,
me trying to figure out where you are 100% of the
trust,
time.
though, because you have to trust that she's not lying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, hey, what'd you do? Okay, I'm going to take that 100%. But I'm just saying, you don't base it on, like, I'm not even going to ask.
I got broken up with twice and we got back together. The last time we broke up, that was literally the last time. I didn't know that. I was really hurt. I begged. I don't beg, but I begged. Broke my heart.
I do know some
Dudes
crazy
hurt.
guys that hurt other girls' feelings for no reason. Especially, oh my god, I cannot stand it when it's a really, really, really nice girl, like a sweetheart, and she's going out with like the most stupidest guy I've ever seen in my life. Like, really mean to her, lies to her, cheats on her, does everything behind her back. Like, I don't understand what are you doing with that guy? Like, I don't get it.
Romantic love
that's
exist,
movies,
but
right?
it's after you know that it's true. There's no such thing as falling for somebody right then and there, and it's romantic. You're right, there's no such thing. But once you get to that point to where you know each other, and then you know you can trust each other, then it turns romantic.
And what do you get? Usually lied to, cheated on.
Cry.
Oh, crying every fool. You get ignored, turn the phone off.
You gotta apologize for something you didn't do.
You never did. Babe, I'm sorry. Even though I didn't do it or anything else.
But I'm just apologizing to end the argument right now.
Because I don't want to fight with you because I love you that much.
Well, on the day of the pageant before my interview, I was getting ready upstairs and I heard someone knock on the door, and my mom came and told me that someone was here, and I went down and it was my boyfriend, and he brought me some flowers and a bag of goodies to help me not be so nervous for my interview, and I thought that was very sweet because it was a surprise.
I got dumped by a lot of girls, so I don't know what it's like to really be in love.
Okay, so me and this guy went fishing one time, and we were just fishing along, and he just stands up in the boat and leans over and kisses me and sits back down, and that just meant a lot to me because we were just sitting there going along, and it just all of a sudden.
The girl I was dating at the time, we went to the park and just walked through the park just talking non-stop, and I thought that was really nice. I don't know about most people, they might call that weird, but I liked it.
I think it's the long conversations on the phone. Like, they're not just meaningless, they're deep thoughts, what the future's gonna hold, stuff like that. I really like that.
Me and you and me, no matter how you toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together.
My name is Carrie Blair. I'm a counselor, and I've been married 14 years. Okay, I'm Marcus Blair. I'm an instructor at Carl Albert State College. I've been married for 13 years.
My name is Sharon Poor. I am a loan officer for Empire Finance. I have been married 3 times, and my last marriage was 8 years, and I have been divorced now for 3.5 years.
My name is Zachary Edwin Carter. I work at Poto Walmart as a cashier and have now for 3 years, and I've been engaged for exactly 4 months now.
My name is Kelly Franklin. I'm a psychology major out at UFAS. My longest relationship was probably 2.5 to 3 years. Shortest 6 or 7 months, and I think the longest time I've ever been single is maybe 2 or 3 years.
What love is to me would be basically an act of giving without anything in return on the other end. Selfless.
To me, love is at once, very chemical, very natural, very basic, very animal, but then becomes something that's extremely poetic and good. It's just, I think most people don't have the patience to wait long enough to get to the good stuff. And so they'll forever be disappointed with it because they're going from person to person, instead of finding all those qualities that are in a person over time that can only be discovered after you've walked with someone for all those years.
It's like someone always has to be the bigger person. Someone has to let go of an argument. Someone has to accept an apology even if they don't think they're right. Somebody has to love someone even though they make a mistake.
You have to, on both sides, sacrifice a little bit, but you also gain more than you've ever had in your life, and all the sacrifices that you put into it are worth all that you gain in the end, which is someone that you're going to be with hopefully for the rest of your life.
Overloading of neurotransmitters and the synaptic gaps in our brain is the equivalent of being high on methamphetamine or heroin. It's the same thing that happens when you have sex. Just the dopamine and serotonin just fill your brain and you're just really high and it's totally awesome, and then it goes away and you're like, oh my god, I need more.
Marriage or love tends to fail when people don't realize what it is that their spouse wants in life. And men, for example, all want a certain amount of adventure in their life. They want a certain amount of pride in themselves, what they've done, their accomplishments, basically the big adventure of their life, And a lot of love for men is how their ego feels when they're around their spouse. And so if they have a spouse who runs them down constantly, tells them they're fat, they're bald, they're dumb, they're unsuccessful, then they're not going to feel like loving anybody, And by the same token, if women do not feel treasured and pursued and beautiful, then they lose interest really quickly too. And you can get into this vicious circle where basically no one wants to meet anybody in the middle and give their spouse what they want because they're bitter. They're so used to that other person not investing in them what they need that they're not willing to invest in them anymore either. And who could blame them? You see couples that are like that all the time where you think, if he would just stop and compliment her every now and then, it would work. But the reason he doesn't want to stop and compliment her is she nags him and runs him down at home. He feels worthless. He feels like he has nothing to offer to the whole thing. But what makes it a success is just the opposite. You have to just think about what men want, what women want, and then you have to give it to them.
I don't think love fails or succeeds. Love is just love. It's there. It's people who fail or succeed. Love is just a catalyst to make things happen, or the potential for things to happen. Because, once the high wears off and you're done with the withdrawal where, oh my god, I need to be around this person again because he makes me feel so good. And once that wears off and I just want to be around this person because I miss him and I enjoy his company, that's what I think the real love is that's left over. That's the genuine stuff that most people give up on before they even get to it because they can't get past the withdrawal stage.
You get into a slump and people just don't try at it anymore. Some people, they just give up, and I think that's one of the main reasons that love fails in modern society. And then another one's like the obvious, like just never was compatible. There was just an infatuation, or long distance relationships usually don't work. But the reason that love succeeds in some cases is just I don't like to say that things are meant to be, but sometimes things are just, they're just meant to be, and people end up together and they spend the rest of their lives together. And
the 3 biggest times for divorce would be, number 1, the honeymoon period. That would be the very first year that people are married, because they go into this thing, you know, with a sexual love, and all of a sudden after a year maybe those things die down. The 7-year itch is the average time that a couple has their second child. Basically, they have the first child, they can devote attention to them, they're flip-flopping back and forth. After the second child, then there's normally one-on-one, and then if they decide to have a third child, then the third child's being kind of juggled in the middle. My personal experience, our 9th year was our hardest year, and that was the year we had our second child. The empty nest syndrome, because people have put all their attention, most couples, into their children and had forgotten about each other, that after the kids leave the house, then all of a sudden they're looking at each other thinking, do I know you? Because they don't. Because most couples don't take time to date. They don't take time for romance. They don't take time for those individual needs that they need as a couple.
My wife and I met, she moved here from Alaska and didn't know anybody. And she was in a bookstore that I was working at the time. And we just ran into each other, and I took one look at her and thought she was easily the prettiest woman I'd ever seen in my life. Didn't think I had a chance with her, no matter what, but it turns out that I did, and I just wanted her, you know, immediately, and pursued her, and it worked out. You know, it's always been a beautiful thing. I had actually been talking to a naval recruiter about joining the Navy. And, you know, he came out to my house, he gave me the test, you know, the ASVAB test, and said, well, what will it take for you to join the Navy today? I said, well, not much, because I already want to join. And he said, okay. He said, well, what we'll do is we'll get you in basic, you know, we'll train you and everything, and, you know, we'll ship you out for 6 months. I said, well, wait a minute. I said, you're going to do what? And he said, yeah, I mean, you're in the Navy, you're going to spend all this time at sea. And, man, my heart felt like someone took it and just juiced it, you know, like an orange. And I felt like I would just literally die if I had to be 6 months away from Carrie. And not only that, I didn't want to be another hour without her. So, I mean, I got in the car, I drove up to where she was working at the time, walked right in, got on a knee, had no ring, and proposed to her, and she said yes.
I honestly was attracted to him right away. I liked that he was funny and he was really intelligent. However, I got a phone call one day, and it was him, and I was really excited, and he asked me if I would go out with his friend. Yeah, very immature, I know. So I was kind of upset, but I took my mother's advice, and I said, she told me, okay, go out with this friend and see how he likes it. So I went out with this friend, and like a week later or so, he called me, and once we started dating, we probably didn't spend a day apart. Our marriage was really fast. We dated for 3 months, we were engaged for 3 months, and then we got married. And then basically a month after we got married, everyone was asking where the child was. I guess they assumed that I was pregnant because we went into it so fast.
I'd like to start with my first marriage. I mean, when I married my kids' dad, it was my first relationship, and I still believe that love was forever. I believe that it lasted forever. I believe that two people fell in love. You know, we had complete trust in our relationship. Became addicted to crank. It completely destroyed our marriage. I mean, he began to get suspicious. He began to get, you know, he would accuse me of things. I had no idea what he was talking about. It really deteriorated our marriage quickly. I mean, he became violent. After that relationship, I've never been able to trust anyone. I've never been able to communicate honestly with someone. I keep a lot of things inside myself. When I'm talking about my feelings, it's really hard for me to be honest with somebody. I only let them know what I want to know, and I don't think you can have an honest relationship with someone if you don't have no honesty, if you don't feel like you can tell them anything. My most recent divorce, I love my husband. I love my husband very much, and I believe he loved me. But then again, at the same time, we were two different cultures. He was Mexican, I was American, and they had totally different viewpoints. About 3 years into the marriage, he told me he had cheated on me. And I think we split up for about 6 months. we wound up getting back together because, like I said, I loved him, and I wanted to love him enough to forgive him, because I don't think you can honestly have love without forgiveness. I came home one day actually, and he was packing his stuff and leaving, and you know, it was hard because I still loved him, and I kept praying that God could heal our marriage and could make our marriage work, but it was just evident that wasn't going to happen, and so we went our separate ways. And I later found out that he had been unfaithful to me again, and that he had gotten someone pregnant. So that really destroyed any trust I had left, I think, in a relationship for anyone.
My last relationship, I was with this great guy. He made me so happy. He had amazing potential, the most potential I've ever seen in anybody in my life. Found out he had been doing meth the whole time. Speaking of not being able to get enough of that dopamine influx in your brain, and, you know, probably cheating the whole time, because that's kind of what you do when you're under the influences of some seriously hardcore drugs like that. You know, I miss him because I still love him, but then it's just like, but that wasn't the real him. So it's just kind of hard, because sometimes you feel like you get disillusioned as to, well, I thought I loved him, I thought it was real. But if that wasn't the real him, then were my feelings real?
I knew Grace from work. She started a couple months after I started working at Walmart, and I was always like, I liked her, and like we were friends and everything. And I got together with her actually prior to being together with her right now, and we dated for like a couple months, and I was going through some personal problems, and I didn't want to really drag her into it, so I broke it off with her. Ended up, we got back together because she was tutoring me in algebra, and the connection was still there, and it just happened again, and we got back together, and now I've been together for a year and 3 months or so, something like that, a year and 3 months, I think, and I still to this day, I can't believe that it happened.
So what I tried to do was try to see her qualities new, as I did when I first met her, and try not to let all those intervening years be a wall between what first made me love her to begin with. And somehow or another, we found it again. I know a lot of people don't, but we did.